Oh, great. More nonsense from the NBA. Alright, here we go. Statement from the National Basketball Social Justice Coalition Executive Director James Cadogan on the verdict in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Our thoughts are with the families of those whose lives were taken in this tragedy. The right to peacefully protest is a bedrock of our democracy, and the National Basketball Social Justice Coalition remains committed to preserving that right for all.
Christine and Laura, what you're seeing behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha, Wisconsin over the course of the night, a second night since Jacob Blake.
Any forms of vigilantism in our society are unacceptable. Alright, tell me you watched the trial exclusively on CNN without telling me you watched the trial exclusively on CNN. What's up, guys? It's your boy MetPack420 here, coming at you with a new one. And today I'm calling out some people. Alright, now the NBA, at first I was going to rant on this, but we know the NBA, we know they're bought and sold by China. These people bitch and whine about social justice, but they're very mum on China, so, because it'll hurt your bottom dollar over there. And let's be real, the NBA is very, very lucrative in China. They make a lot of money in China. Now, what I want to talk about here is Rage Against the Machine, more specifically Tom Morello, but we'll read this nonsense here. What defines innocence in America? Tamir Rice was executed for playing with the toy. A little more complicated than that, but I'll give you a little bit of that one, okay? Nobody was charged. Ahmaud Arbery was jogging and was murdered in the broad daylight. Okay. These guys are getting their facts from, like, CNN and MSNBC or fucking USA Today, reading a newspaper a week later. Come on, like, these guys, just based on what a person tweets, you can tell where they're getting their information. Or, Rittenhouse armed himself and killed people who were fighting for racial justice. Oh, you mean the pedophile and the wife beater? Okay, yeah. See, I did a video on this when the Rittenhouse trial verdict went, and yeah. Again, if you were a person that actually got your information from anything other than mainstream media, you got a better understanding of what happened on that trial, and you probably even expected him to probably get off because you knew the facts and you paid attention to the trial. Unfortunately, these rich motherfuckers who don't do anything all fucking day are too bothered to do that shit even. This is a settler logic of Americans' founding myth. Whiteness must cast itself as the victim in order to justify its violence against those resisting its oppression. Welcome to the land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah, these guys are fucking nut jobs. Specifically, Tom Morello, because he's the one that's been more vocal lately. But Tom Morello is one of these guys that's going to claim that socialism is the only way to save America and the only way to save the planet, while sitting on the porch of his Beverly Hills mansion, staring over the hills as the giant tent city continues to grow in the downtown area. And he sits there and sips on his Mike's Hard Lemonade and wonders, why aren't people doing enough? A few months ago on Twitter, somebody was calling out his anti-capitalist stance and his socialism stance, while he has t-shirts with his Prophets of Rage logos and hats all for sale for a kind of exorbitant amount of prices, honestly. Look, but if I'm to remember correctly, Rage Against the Machine's first album, and actually their other albums, I believe, were released on Sony Columbia. See, back in the early 90s, the record company found that it was really cool to be anti-establishment and to be against the government and to say fucked up things and to go on stage and do fucked up shit, okay? NWA is a good example on the rap side of things, Congress came after them and it just made them more and more popular. So of course they're going to push gangster rap and of course that type of lifestyle, because it was all about the shock value back then. We were coming off the satanic panic in the 90s and, still kind of going around. That stuff became cool. The looking dark, saying fucked up things, glorifying gangsta life, just It was all about making money off the pearl clutchers' kids, Little Johnny, don't be listening to that NWA. They're bad for you. Don't listen to that Snoop Dogg. He's going to fill your mind with awful things. And you're going to go to school and you're going to want to do drive-bys with your friends. Little Billy, don't you listen to that Iron Maiden. That Iron Maiden's going to want to make you turn into a serial killer. Don't you listen to Ozzy Osbourne. It's going to make you commit suicide. Don't do that, son. Nope. Don't you dare listen to that kind of music. Of course, that stuff progressed to, anti-government music like Anti-Flag and Rage Against the Machine and that punk stuff. And then the pop punk came along, and it's all about making money, right? It was never about any actual message, okay? Maybe back in the day, Tom Morello and the rest of Rage Against the Machines probably did, were wide-eyed and probably did want to make a change. But as soon as they got that check and got those royalty checks, game was different, son. It was all about preserving the image and preserving what Rage Against the Machine is. And let's be real. Rage Against the Machine doesn't make any music anymore. They hadn't made music in a long time. They kind of can't get along, okay? That happens to a lot of bands. That's the same deal with System of a Down, okay? You got some Trump supporters in there, supposedly, and Serge is a psychotic socialist, kind of like Tom Morello. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zach De La Rocha is like, dude, I'm not even actually a socialist. That's all an image thing, okay? Tom is actually the socialist, and I can't get along with that motherfucker. Would not be surprised if that's the case. Just like with Shavo and Darren and System of a Down, they cannot get along with Serge to make a record, okay? It ain't gonna happen. So this is about protecting the image of Rage Against the Machine. Nobody from the band even tweeted this shit out. It was probably some fucking intern they fucking hired to tweet this shit out. Because, let's be real, they don't do anything. They don't, okay? Some fucking intern, Tom Morello, tweeted this shit out, okay? Now, Rage Against the Machine isn't the only leftoid that has this opinion. Matter of fact, everybody has this fucking opinion. Because everyone's a fucking stupid lemming that watched the trial exclusively on CNN. And I don't literally mean everyone. I mean anyone who's a fucking musician, who has like a big record contract. Very few people are willing to speak the truth. Tim Ripper Owens is one guy who's going to speak the truth. And I'd also, Phil Labonte from All That Remains, another dude who's going to speak the truth. I respect those guys, but I don't respect Tom Morello. Okay? And let's be real. When I was learning how to play guitar, some of the first riffs I learned how to play were Rage Against the Machine riffs. Because they were easy. That's literally what they told me. They said, hey man, you should try out some Nirvana riffs like Come As You Are, and any Rage Against the Machine, man, that's pretty easy. The best music Tom Morello ever made was with Chris Cornell. When he was with Chris Cornell and they were an Audio Slave together, that was some good music, okay? Audio Slave was my jam back in the day. Like every little gothic emo kid back in the day, you had the folders with the Anarchy sign written all over them, and you had your Rage Against the Machine t-shirts and your Anti-Flag bumper stickers, and you got your big old black trip pants with all your chains and shit hanging around, and you're just an angry little kid that doesn't understand the world, and you're over here, yeah, man, fuck the system, fuck the, yeah. You don't even understand what's going on. Yeah, socialism, the best, yeah, anarchy, yeah, and not even know what anarchy actually is. I feel like Rage Against the Machine is the 17-year-old kid that just didn't grow up, didn't learn anything about the world, was given anything and everything by their rich parents, and now sit there in their Beverly Hills mansion wondering why they're the only ones that care about why the world sucks. Rose McGowan. She was one of the originators of the Me Too thingy, but as that thing went into a different direction, she realized that she was being used, and she's had her eyes opened. And I think she's a really cool person. I honestly, back in the day, I thought she was really, really cute. I remember when she was dating Marilyn Manson, and she showed up pretty much naked on the VMAs. But she was young, dumb, and she's still a cool person. I really do think she's really cool, and she actually does care. And when she started the Me Too thing, she really thought she was doing a really good thing, and turns out it was hijacked by a bunch of activists that are in it for the glory and not in it for the actual activism, I guess. I don't know. But Rose McGowan's, she's pretty cool, I think. But she tweeted this out earlier, and yeah. So, the distraction. The Kyle Rittenhouse trial was streamed live for the world to see. Media pushed more decisive cities expecting possible rioting with the verdict. Tons of media coverage. This is true. And here's the thing. I will say this. If it was streamed live for the world to see, and if you actually sat and watched it live, then you knew that this case was a waste of your time. Okay? And a waste of everyone's fucking time. And it should have never gone to trial. Ghislaine Maxwell's trial started today. She's only the accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein and a global human sex trafficking ring. And yet all the public gets is this sketch. Are you paying attention? Because while leftoid morons like Rage Against the Machine and the NBA, while these morons rage against the wrong stuff, no one's paying attention to this. Okay, and this is what I wanted to call attention to today. Okay, so, I wanted to call Tom Morello a fucking moron and Rage Against the Machine, rage on behalf of the machine, because that's what that shit's turned into, okay? It was always for profit, and it was always fake. By the people who want you to not pay attention to this stuff. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, like what you hear, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Gab, Minds, all those in the description. I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.